Hey, OC, how did you know that Parsons was going to be able to rush the passer as well as he did? You're the only person I've ever seen to ever say that Micah Parsons could be a put his hand down guy. So I need that question answered.
The OC.
And Boss show me game week. And we got to deal with the mental. Healing the Micah divide. The first Philly prep is the mental state. We got to talk about it. You gonna like this show.
Like, we must have got a guard. That's the only thing that would have made him do that. That's it.
He know.
He know. Because he been watching Twitter, man.
Yeah. So, obviously, with the game this week, it's going to be a lot of us that's focusing on the X's and O's. But most of the game is played in the mind. And we're going to protect the mind. And we're going to look at the body language. And we're going to talk about how to fix the divide. Boss got you.
My reefer with Henny and Coke. Please don't be stingy, got plenty to smoke. Show up and act up and back to the crib. I do not stun, I just rap what I live. Seem like they doing the most for the clout. Did what I said so they know what I'm about. Show up and act up and back to the crib. I do not stun, I just rap what I live.
Boss, show me.
I will show you. Because see, I'm watching close, and I'm gonna talk about this. I'm seeing a little bit of a divide. We're gonna talk about how to fix it. Prepare these guys for Thursday.
Shot it. Fight for. See, that's how to go out. Don't go out, just sit back. Yeah. Oh, I'm gonna take Matthew Golden now. Fight for. You wanted physical. You said you wanted physical. Fight for it.
The good news is this. I definitely think we got the right leadership at the top. I think he's doing great. But I think we need Dak to do a little bit better. I'm going to be very candid and honest about it. Anyway.
Oh my God.
Somebody else said
It is.
Boss Cowboy Sports. Where your voice matters.
Climbing out this hole with a frown on my face. And I would say, no longer a frown.
Climbing out this hole with a frown on my face.
And I ain't gonna even lie. After Clark, feeling great, feeling good.
Feeling good, feeling great. Feeling great, feeling good. How are you?
Let's get it. Let's get it. It's your boy Boss Show Me. I'm gonna tell y'all right now, I think this is gonna probably be one of my better shows. People that follow this channel, they like the truth.
You can't handle the truth.
And I really fight hard to be balanced. I really do. And when you fighting to be balanced, sometimes you gonna have opinions that's not gonna be popular, right? Or you gonna have thoughts. But I stand on that show me, and the type of content that I do, and why I do content is to try to win a championship. So sometimes I'm gonna be misunderstood. My boy with the super chat says, "Show 'em, boss." Oh no, this gonna be a show y'all go like. Trust me. Okay, you go like this show. Hey, and as y'all can see, I done already won the wave war. That wave war is over. See, I'm in a war with Lou and Amp. It's no longer a war. Wait till I get my haircut tomorrow. But going back to what I was saying, sometimes you gotta say what people don't want to hear. Sometimes you go disagree with people. It's part of it. It's just winning is a contact sport. It is, it's a contact sport. I do want to say this, dude, just real quick. Shout out to G. G carried me last night. I just want to thank him for that. He did a show for 4 hours, like from 12 to 4 in the morning. And I needed G last night because I had to pull an all-nighter. And G carried me, man. So, and I just want to say, sometimes G and myself, we disagree. We do. And sometimes we agree. We agreed a lot last night. So just know that when you see sometimes content creators going back and forth, that's supposed to happen. Just know that winning is a contact sport, and sometimes you have to compete on ideas. It's just what it is, right? It's not personal. Sometimes we might get a little bit spicy in our back and forth, but that's the nature of competing for ideas. It's emotional, right? So anyway, this subject is real important because now lock in because the show starts now. Now the show starts. I peeped something, and I'm going to go ahead and say this. After looking at it closer, I was wrong, okay, on my observation, okay. Hold on. DJ was timed up by, okay. Okay, I'm going to let y'all do y'all thing, moderators. I see y'all in there shooting. Somebody got shot.
Everybody around me shooters. Ain't no telling who was shooting.
Man, y'all better watch. Y'all better watch ourselves, man. I'm going to tell you, when you come in, we have a certain decorum and etiquette. We go disagree, but everybody gonna have to take it easy on my back. You ain't gonna come here disrespectful.
Take it easy on my back.
I got real shooters. They will get you up out of here, brother. It's a certain way to disagree. And Star, you gonna love this show. You gonna love this show. So please lock in, Star. But after further looking at it, I can say that I got the impression of Dak wrong. Okay, but I'm man enough to call out Dak if need be, if he is tone deaf. And in some of this, I'm gonna say still he is a little bit tone deaf, and I'm gonna explain that. My girl Star in the building. I love Star. So this is what I said as we preparing for Philly, because I'm focused on the mental. It's gonna be many content creators that's gonna purely focus on just the football, and that's okay. That's okay. I believe you are also focusing on football when you're also focusing on their mental preparedness. Okay. So as I was and then obviously from the Micah aftermath, anybody with common sense is going to be concerned about the potential results to the locker room. Okay. So I've been looking for that. So, and listening for that and observing for that. So this is what I said. I said, keeping it real, the body language of Dak appeared happy that Micah is gone. Was it an internal leadership battle? That's the question that I had. I said, just using my common sense, but Dak displayed more anger losing Will Greer than Micah. And because Star was with me last night, and she had an opposing opinion, and I welcome people to talk me out of my thoughts if I'm tripping. I said, Stargazer, talk me out of my thoughts, please. Like, am I tripping? Basically, that's what I was doing. I was like, am I tripping? Right? But I wasn't tripping. And I'm going to show it, right? Because that's what I do. I show it. But then, because I'm dissecting this, I saw where I got Dak wrong, and I'm going to show it. I'm going to show that as well. Okay. So let me kind of show the thread on this. Now, this is about Philly. Because, see, I'm going to tell y'all, I noticed something about the space. This attitude not only applies to how we do with front office, but a lot of people get like this when you start critiquing Dak. In no way should we ever be Steven. In no way. In no way should it be about trying to protect the feelings or protect a particular person or organization. If anybody is not in their ideal state to win, it should be subject to cross-examination. That's Dak, that's front office, that's Micah, that's Osa, that's Brian Schottenheimer. I'm not going to be Steven for nobody. Okay? So I just want to be clear on that. So if I got some critiques on Dak, take it easy on my back. Okay?
Take it easy on my back.
Because I'm doing this because I want to win. I'm not attacking Dak. I'm not attacking Micah. I'm not attacking front office. I'm attacking anything that can be a problem to win a championship. That's what I'm attacking. So let me go through these comments real quick, just briefly, just to kind of explain the state of mind of some people. And that's okay. I can understand where people might see this different. So this is important because my boy Superfly Spitter said, I think you're inputting emotions you have no idea of knowing. He stated that he was happy the situation was resolved, which it was. Finality can bring relief, right? And he said emotions, and I didn't have no problem with that. Superfly is a cool dude. He said, and I said, I see exactly what I think. You know what I mean? Like so now I want to explain. I'm locked in on body language. Examples: small smiles when talking about his feelings at the locker room. A real big smile when Clarence said life goes on. Never emotion with me. I always focus, observation, and listening. You know? So then, you know, you will have people, and my boy say I look forward to tuning in, because in other words, I have an open mind on what you go say, right? And so then I dropped this on him like, yeah, bro, I'm gonna show you, I'm gonna give you my full breakdown of my thoughts. And then Devin Webster, I'm gonna ignore that, bro. I ain't gonna even worry about that shit. But then Davlin Carr said, I got the same impression. And I said, I'm doing a show on it tomorrow, right? And then some people had respectful disagreements with me. And then somebody said that's a reach. So I'm going to show you why it's not a reach. I'm going to show you why some people could be like, you are different with Micah than you was with Will Greer. But then I'm going to also explain why I misread Dak. And now I fully understand the mind state of Dak. Okay. So when I talked about the smiles and the tone that he's trying to set from Micah and the divorce from Micah, I talked about the smile and his attitude towards losing Micah, right? So this is what I'm talking about. And I said, especially when Clarence Hill was like, life goes on, right? So check this out. Oh, and before I do, let me kind of explain this first, okay? Body language is extremely important. Extremely important. This is not even about being a body language expert. This is about body language being something that you have to become observant with if you're going to increase your chances in life. So body language is the process of communicating with words, using physical behaviors such as facial expressions, gestures, posture, and eye movement to convey information and emotions. This form of communication is often instinctive and can strongly influence how individuals perceive and interpret others' messages, providing deeper insights beyond spoken words. Understanding body language can improve connections and awareness by revealing underlying feelings and thoughts that are not consciously expressed verbally. Because see, I've been doing content enough to know that because I'm critiquing that, I already know it's going to be, who you think you are, man? You ain't no body language expert. Who you think you are, man? Dak was just, man. Boss, come on, man. You do. Give me some responses. It's this protective bullshit that we do instead of being open-minded. And let me just say it like this. No, I'm not a body language expert. No, I've not received any certifications or degrees or anything on body language. Now, I have studied in the #1 sales program where they teach us a lot about body language. So I do have more training than most, but I'm not going to act like I have degrees in psychological, psychosis, whatever, full doctoral understandings of body language. I don't. But I'm going to say it like this. All of us should try to improve on interpreting body language. So it's almost like, I'm going to give you the example like this. And this still got to do with Philly. This got to do with the mental state of the Cowboys. But I need to explain this because I already know it's going to be some Dak Stevens in here too. It's going to be some Dak Stevens, okay? Just like it's some front office Stevens. It's going to be some people that's in her babying Dak just like they baby front office. It's just what it happens, right? But it's almost like you speaking English and then being dropped off in Colombia. If you get dropped off in Colombia, you better try to learn the language because that's the majority of the language. If you get dropped off in Colombia, if you get dropped off in New Mexico, that's the majority of the language is Spanish. So you better start trying to learn it. I don't care if you're not an expert because the majority of the language is Spanish. You better start. Hola, señorita. You better. So let me break this down and then I'm going to get into that, right? Why that's important. Okay. The widely cited, because to the percentage of body language, a lot of people don't know this. The widely cited 738-55 rule states that communication is 55% body language, 38% vocal tone, and 7% verbal. However, this rule applies only to specific situations, primarily when a person's verbal and nonverbal messages are incongruent. While the percentages aren't universally applicable, they highlight the significant impact of nonverbal cues, including body language, on how messages are received. So, like, again, if you look at the graph, right, we talking about literally a majority by most studies is body language and tone, and 7% is what you actually say. So, for instance, if somebody say, do you love me? Right? Do you love me? And I say, yeah. What am I really saying? Yeah, I love you. What did my body language say? But if she say, do you love me? And I say, what? Man, come here. You already. What did that body language say? Now, both of them said yes. Both of my words said yes. My body language on both of those scenarios communicated a totally different message. Do you love me? Yeah. I do. So all the people that's gonna come in here when I break down the difference in body language with Micah versus Will Greer, take it easy on my back. Take it easy, because I'm just being honest. I'm concerned about the state of the locker room.
Take it easy on my back.
And I'm gonna show where, in my opinion, Dak is a little bit tone deaf, and I want him to improve. Okay, I'm gonna show that too. So this was Dak with Micah.
As a captain, and certainly you were a leader.
Hold on, I got a super chat.
Captain,
Hold on, let me go back. My boy dropped $10 on me. I love this super chat. This is a good one. This is a very good one, man. I love y'all, man. Y'all are so smart, man. We got the smartest fans in the world. All right, let me read it. He said, I think Dak is over the front office antics. He's jaded towards the front office, in my opinion. which is why his default answers are it's business, it's more the exhaustion, that's just me. Yeah, and see, ain't that funny truth only that me and you are doing what we have to do. We have to try to speak Spanish, right? Because we are dropped in Colombia. So that's what we left to do, is read your body language, because we can't trust your words in this environment sometimes. Very good super chat. Very good super chat. So let me go back and play this. Look at the body language. I'm going to compare it to Will Greer. I'm going to explain why I misread Dak from this. Then I'm going to explain why I believe Dak is a little bit tone deaf and I want him to improve on something. Okay. So check this out. Watch.
As a captain, and certainly you were a leader before you were named captain. The pulse in the locker room, what's the feeling? Some of these young guys were close. Certainly guys on defense were close with Micah. How do you get them to?
And so you see that little smile right there, right? So when you see that subtle smile, it's gonna make me say, why is this something to smile about when he talking about the pulse of the locker room?
Divorced from those feelings and focused on, we got to get ready for Philadelphia. And I don't know what the locker room is feeling right now.
Once again, from what I got from the feel of the locker room, I don't think there was needed a talk or lifting guys up over the divorce or feeling down about themselves. I mean, or about the situation. It's a business. And
so he said, based on his feel of the locker room, he don't really feel like they need a speech like that. They don't. From his perspective. DJ, let's not do all the name calling, bro. Dak is a puppet and all that. Man, let's see, that type of stuff is toxic, bro. Let's not do all that. Let's just talk about this with some class. We don't have to tear down Micah and tear down Dak. We don't have to do that. We can talk about this with some respect and nuance. Because if you keep that up, bro, all this name count, I'm gonna kick you out. I'm just letting you know. We don't do that over here. We talk with each other with respect. Just letting you know, bro.
I think a lot of guys in that locker room know that, have felt that to some extent or not, and I just think that was just another realization of it, of this is a business. And hell, if anything, I hope it was a wake-up call to some guys, right? Like this is for our life, and every day you come in here and you approach it as it is for your life. We're blessed to play a game for a living. So yeah, the locker room have seemed upbeat. The ping pong games have still been going on, and yeah, we're focused on Philly.
Life goes on.
Dak, what kind of example does?
See, that's what made me say, hold up, right? Is especially that smile at the end, and it's a big smile. When he said life goes on, right? Look.
Yeah, we're focused on Philly.
Life goes on.
Dak, what kind of example does the
life goes on, right? And you got a big smile?
Yeah, we're focused on Philly.
Life goes on.
Dak, what kind of example does the
So that made me say, hold up, right? And there's nothing wrong with me observing that, especially when I saw something totally different with Will Greer. Okay. I saw something totally different and it didn't make sense to me. Now I'm gonna explain where I'm wrong, but I'm telling you my original state of mind. I'm gonna tell you later where I missed it. I'm gonna show you where I missed it on Dak. Okay. And my boy D.L.E. say, is he supposed to mourn? Micah leaving? No, you ain't supposed to mourn, but you supposed to also recognize that Micah had a lot of friends, and that you got to be responsible for how you coming across. Micah had friends, bro. So to be smiling, now it's one thing to mourn, it's another thing to be smiling too, bro. And we got to be conscious of that as we getting ready for Philly. I'm not giving Dak no pass either. I'm not. So I'm observing it, and I ain't got no favorites, bro. Front office not my favorite, Dak not my favorite, the Cowboys my favorite. So if it's a place to where Dak can do better, I'ma say it. But I'm also showing you, because my name is Boss, showing me where people watching you can be like, what was that? Like,
what the fuck is that?
You smiling, right? Life goes on, and so we also have memories. So this is how Dak handled Will Grier.
Ready to call your own plays now?
The timing's right, I guess. Maybe it was fun.
So first thing I want you to notice, since we're trying to observe body language, notice it's gonna be a bunch of shrugs when talking about Will Grier. A bunch of shrugs. So keep in mind, most of communication is body language. Most of it. Okay? 38% is tone. The other 55% is body language. Right? So let's just peep him.
But seriously, does it give you a different perspective and an appreciation? I know you have a lot of respect already for Mike.
No, for sure. I mean, as you said, I've got a lot of respect for it. I've been around for a while, so kind of understand the flow, kind of understand what you're trying to get. Knowing the quarterback, knowing what he's good at, knowing what he's wanting to do, I think is a huge part of it. And so, I give credit to that as much as me calling a couple of plays. Is that guy played his ass off, and anytime a quarterback plays like that, it doesn't matter who's calling the plays.
No shrugs. None. Zero. When he was just talking about Will Grier, no shrugging.
On the respect aspect of it and understanding what a play call is going through, is there something that is actually beneficial for you as a quarterback to be on that side of it and just see the entire process in that way?
As I said, I've been around for a while, so that it wasn't anything that I didn't understand, that these guys put so much time and they put a lot of effort into. Once again, it's preseason football. Those guys gave us 3 coverages on the other side, and so I'm not going to sit here on my high horse like I just called the Super Bowl or something. So
still no shrugs.
It was a game, and it was fun. It was fun to do and fun to experience that.
What'd you think of Will?
And see, my boy say Micah didn't even rank his own QB top 10 when sitting on the podcast with a new QB. Yeah, listen, y'all, it could be a divide between them two, and I'm gonna talk about that. It could literally be they don't like each other. That's very possible, y'all. I'm gonna just tell you the truth. It's very possible, and it's evidence that they don't like each other, to be honest. I can show you specific evidence on both of them where they
said, man, just played his ass off. That's who Will is. That's who Will's been from the time that he's been here. And it was awesome that he got to go out there and put that performance on display, and hope the rest of the world, the rest of the league saw that and took notice.
What did you think about the
And no, that's not true, D.A. Lee, that he was outperforming Trey Lance. Trey Lance was just acquired here. So Will Grier was kicked out because we acquired Trey Lance, so he didn't outperform Trey Lance.
Obviously, I understand it's a business. That's a first-round talent.
So there you go. So this is proof that Trey Lance wasn't even here yet because he was just acquired. Remember, this is 2 years ago. They kicked Will Grier out for Trey Lance, so they didn't go head up in Dallas yet.
Obviously, I understand it's a business. That's a first-round talent, and you're always
so he talking about Trey Lance.
Trying to make your team better, but that was the front office, so we're going to welcome him as we do any teammate, and hopefully he makes us better, and then we're going to continue to get back at it and know we've got one goal as a team.
So as he talking about Will Grier, the only thing you see body language wise, the only thing you see him getting up on his toes, no shrugs, right? So I'm looking at it now when they start addressing how he felt about Will Grier. Now watch.
About him, like paths cross and all?
Paths cross, I guess, during his draft process for a marketing thing, and seemed like a great kid. Knows he's a great kid. Knows a great guy, I should say. And as I said, ready to welcome him to the team.
Back to the trade, surprise you at all?
To be honest,
so now he asks, did the trade surprise you at all? Okay? And my boy say, I'm tired of hearing about Micah. No, you're not actually hearing about Micah today. What you hearing about today is the mental mind state of your team. So let me tell y'all something real quick. I noticed some about y'all when we talking about Micah or we talking about the results of the locker room. Y'all need to chill on this move on bullshit y'all on. Okay? Because I notice a lot of hypocrisy with the people that's like that. Because see, I see y'all on other channels. And y'all don't be like that. Y'all say that based on the opinion of the person that's talking. So if the person that's talking is shooting holes in Micah, y'all, yeah. But then if somebody is saying, hey, this is the locker room and this is where, you know, this Micah thing could be affecting the locker room. Let's move on. Dak could have done better here. Let's move. Nah, bro, y'all not gonna do that toxic stuff to me, bro. So just take it easy on my back and let me make my case.
Take it easy on my back.
Because the case that I'm making is to improve. This ain't about Micah. This ain't about Dak. This is about the locker room. And this is about preparing for Philly mentally. But let's go back to now when he's asked about Greer.
Did it surprise you at all?
To be honest with you, I'm not surprised by anything anymore. I've been in this league 8 years, been on this team. It's hard to say that I was surprised, to be honest with you.
There was some speculation that
no smiling.
This move would somehow strengthen the Cowboys' negotiating position with you when it comes to contract talks. Do you feel that it does?
I believe that talks in the office where business is handled. So I mean that'll come a time when that
shoulder shrug
that happens, and so
when somebody do this, what that mean? Huh?
Would you have expected to hear from Jerry on this beforehand? He said he didn't tell you. Would you have expected a heads up or not?
So he asked about Jerry and look at his body language. Look, did they give you a heads up on that?
On this beforehand, he said he didn't tell you. Would you have expected a heads up?
Is that an eye roll? Hell yeah, it is. Because guess what? This is when Dak was also waiting on his contract, and this is frustrating. You see what I'm saying? He's frustrated. So don't act like body language don't matter. Don't even come to me like body language don't matter.
When that happens, and so.
Would you have expected to hear from Jerry on this beforehand? He said he didn't tell you. Would you have
rolled his eyes? Shoulder shrugs. Shoulder shrugs.
I can't say that I necessarily expected it. No.
Look at them shoulder shrugs.
I understand that as business. I understand that they're probably on a timeline. They need to get something done. And as I said, he felt like that strengthened this team. And as I said, ready to welcome him. And I mean, what is this? We knowing the strength of the quarterback room that we have. Honestly, right.
As he talking. See, that's that body language. Remember they said a lot of body language is subconscious. What did they give you a heads up on Jerry?
You know, I mean, my heart and my mind is with Will, and so it's
my heart and my mind is with Will with another shoulder shrug.
It's a tough situation, honestly. Love that guy to death over there. Plays his ass off. Comes in, prepares the right way each and every day. And I mean, as I said, we're gonna welcome Trey, and that's what you do for a teammate. I mean, we're excited.
Man, them shoulder shrugs going crazy. He went from no shoulder shrugs to just nonstop.
I'm excited. I'm always there to help somebody, help a teammate. Very selfless person, so that's not going to change by any means. But my heart's with that guy over there right now.
A simple question: how excited are you to just get out there and start playing some football?
Yeah, damn sure excited. I mean, being more involved, I guess you can say, in this game is just raise that excitement, the preparation that kind of.
So we saw the response of Will Greer, okay? And this is you if you don't at least be honest and say you don't see the difference. This is you for Dak right now. If you're not honest enough to say you don't see the difference, let's just at least start there. We don't have to agree on the why or the possibilities, but if you can't agree that there's a massive difference in the emotions he showed you losing Will Greer than Micah, you are on some Steven stuff, and I'm just gonna tell you straight up with no filter. You are on some Steven stuff. Straight up. You have to at least notice it, damn it. Like, we might not agree on the why, but to not notice it is like, come on, bro. You with Micah was like, and you with Will was. So if you were somebody that noticed it, right, and concerned about the locker room, right, you do have a legitimate concern. I'm not gonna gaslight you like you don't. Now, after looking at it closer, I'm gonna tell you that I misread it. But I did notice the difference. I did. And that's why I said, bro, the way that he came across was like he was happy that Micah was gone. So let me just say this. And sometimes you can be totally misread. Let me give you a story, okay? I'm gonna give you a real story. This is a true story, okay? Cause see, I already know when you start talking about Dak, people get real sensitive, right? When you start saying where Dak can improve, Dak has, so let me say it like this for the people that's mad at me right now. Take it easy on my back. Listen, I understand why people get angry when we critique Dak, right? Or making an observation like what I did, right? I understand why people, because Dak has always been unfairly critiqued. So I get it. So for all the people that's like, boss, he's just trying to move on to Philly, boss, calm down. No, bro, it's a difference, bro. It was a difference. It was a difference in reaction. Will Greer was the final preseason game. So we just getting ready to go into the season. It's the exact same scenario, y'all. Okay? So I get it. But see, you got to know when you're dealing with me, I'm not the people that attack Dak. I'm not the people that's hating on Dak. I'm not the people that's trying to always find a way to make Dak look bad. So when I'm saying something, it should literally make your ears perk up. If I'm saying I noticed something, it should make your ears perk up because you should know that I got Dak's back. You should already know that. So everybody, let's calm down. I'm going to show you where I misread Dak, but I'm also first showing you where it can look funny. Why are you smiling with the absence of Micah? And when he said, yeah, life goes on, he like, and then with Will Greer. So first, let me give you this story. This is a real story too. This is real. So when I was at the University of Houston, I was in an entrepreneurship program, right? And around that time, I would definitely say I was a spiritual zealot. I was a super dedicated Christian, right? At that time, I was probably 5 years celibate, right? And a real dude, like women, love women, but dedicated to the Lord, dedicated, right? Licensed in ministry, licensed, right? Preaching on Mondays, preaching on Tuesdays, right? Real talk. This was me, right? So as I'm going to the University of Houston, I definitely wore my faith on my sleeves, Absolutely. I was unapologetically, and to a degree still to this day, I love Jesus Christ. Absolutely, to this day. I'm not the best example, but I do. Believe that, okay? I'm definitely not the best example now. But at around that time, I was definitely wearing my faith aggressively on my sleeve. I shared the gospel of Christ unapologetically to anybody, right? So all my professors, everybody around me knew. They knew. Everybody knew where I stood, right? So I was in class one day and I was locked in on what my professor was saying because I loved the entrepreneurship program. I was locked in and I was listening to him and I was looking at him like this. Because when I was focused, my face would be like this. Now, inside, I was loving it, what he was saying. But on the outside, my face was like this. Right? And as he was teaching, he stopped in the middle of the class and he said, "What the is wrong with you?" And I was like, "What?" He said, "Marcus, what the is wrong with you?" I said, "What you talking about?" He said, this is exactly what he said. He said, "Damn, man, I know you're a Christian. I know you're a Christian, but why the fuck you looking at me like that?" And I was like, is he crazy? Right? And so then class ended and I was like, man, that dude went off on me for nothing. Right? Ken Jones. I love Ken Jones to this day. I love Ken. But then that day I was like, bro, man. So I was complaining about it. Like, man, how you gonna come at me like that, bro? Man, how you? I'm like, bro, I was really fully loving what he was saying, man. I love this program. I'm learning how to run a business. This is the... And then I heard a voice in my head speak to me and I know it was God. And this is what I heard, clear as day. You are responsible for how you come across. And I ain't gonna never forget when I heard it. Because I was downstairs in the business schools, I was complaining. And it was like that voice interrupted me. It was almost like, stop talking. Stop. You are responsible for the way that you come across. And I understood what that voice was telling me. You have to watch your body language. And thank God I accepted that wisdom from God. I accepted. I heard it and I accepted it. I said, okay. And so then I actually took the time to go look at myself literally in the mirror. This is something I had to do and then I figured out what my problem was. My mom always taught me, be yourself, be yourself, be yourself. So whatever I felt, I displayed, and then I would always have friction, especially with teachers. But then I start noticing my natural face looks mean. My natural face, just being real, my natural face, if I'm just relaxed, if I'm just chilling, the way my eyes sink down, it looks like I'm uninterested, but that's just my natural face. And see, you'll be thinking, boss don't care, right? Why is it? And I'm just chilling. I'm really listening to you. I could be all the way tuned into what you're saying, but my face look like shut up. And see, Big will say sometime, Big, and that would tell me, oh, here you go, boss, you better watch your face. Big would say, man, boss, you mean mug. And I'd be like, you're right. And I would think to myself, yeah, you got to watch how you come across. So this is what I had to practice in the mirror. And this is what I noticed about me, right? I had to notice to not wear my natural face. Meaning, what makes me soften my face is I have to kind of open my eyes a little bit. If I just open my eyes a little bit, just a little bit, it gives off a totally different impression. Just opening my eyes just a little bit more. Because if I'm in my natural face, this is my natural face when I'm completely relaxed. So, but when I just open my eyes a little bit, I had to look in the mirror literally. And then I start working on it. And I start networking with people, and I would just open my eyes a little bit more. And I started noticing people was more comfortable with me. Right? And in that same class, I was working on it for a while. And that same professor said, man, I don't know what you did, but you are different. You are different. Like, it's like you got a shine on you. And I was thinking to myself, I'm actually no different. The only thing I did was take responsibility on what I was projecting now. That was it. I heard the voice where I know it had to be God, who was giving me wisdom on how to have better relations. That's just what it was. So when it come to Dak, that's what I'm talking about. Is that just like I had to take responsibility on how I come across, we all have to take responsibility of even how we come across, because it could be interpreted bad, and we have to be conscious of it. And we talking about the mental as we're getting ready for Philly. It's gonna be plenty of content creators that talk about the X's and O's, but we have to talk about the mental and body language and speech clues. So let me play this again, and I'm gonna show you where, in my opinion, Dak is missing it a little bit, and I'm gonna show you where I missed him. So just like I was misread, I misread him, and I'm gonna prove that I misread him. Okay, I'm still leading up to that. So let me play this again. Let's go through it.
As a captain, and certainly you were a leader before you were named captain. The pulse in the locker room, what's the feeling? Some of these young guys were close, certainly guys on defense were close with Micah. How do you get them to divorce from those feelings and focus on, we got to get ready for Philadelphia? And I don't know what the locker room is feeling right now.
Once again, from what I got from the feel of the locker room, I don't think there was needed a talk or lifting guys up over the divorce or feeling down about themselves. I mean,
he said, so from what I got from the locker room, I don't feel like it's a need to lift them up off of the divorce. I don't feel like that, right? So let's listen to Osa.
What have these last few days been like, trying to really focus on week one, but understanding that a pretty big moment happened on Thursday for you guys?
It's kind of like
shoulder shrug. Hold on.
What have these last few days been like, trying to really focus on week one, but understanding that a pretty big moment happened on Thursday for you guys?
What has it been like dealing with week one over the last few days? Obviously referring to Micah.
It's kind of like, it's one of those things, like the timing up. Is something that doesn't really allow you to dwell on any of that.
The timing of it is where it doesn't allow you to dwell on any of that.
You know what I mean? Like, it is what it is. That's my dog. Kind of sad that he's gone, but I'm at the same time very happy for him.
I'm kind of sad that he's gone, but I'm happy for him.
Happy that he's able to retire his mom and do big things for his family. You know, still wishing the best, but at the same time, we got a game on Thursday, so we got to focus on what's right in front of us.
So you got Dak saying, man, I don't really feel like that these guys got an issue. But I'm over here listening at Osa, looking at the body language, which is the real clues of what's going on with you and the subconscious clues of what's going on with you. And when you saying, I'm kind of sad, but we have to move on because the game, you, in my opinion, have to recognize that. You know, you can't make the assumption like everybody's like you, where because you want to protect the mental of your guys as well, right? And Osa is a captain. So in my opinion, this is where you go the extra mile and you actually talk to Osa. You, in my opinion, I'm talking about the mental state, preparing for Philly, the mental state. Okay. So there's evidence that what Dak is thinking is not the reality of what's going on with even one of the guys with the C on his chest, y'all. Also says specifically this hurt. So if somebody say it hurt, I'm not, and nor should Dak just be like, man, we playing ping pong, bro. We good. No, Dak needs to go the extra mile and talk to the people that you know was super close to Micah. It's not enough to sit back and be like, bro, we good. Now, I like the message of what he doing. Like, bro, we gotta get ready. But let's not act like emotions are not real. That's why momentum is real. See, a lot of momentum is about emotion. It's not just X's and O's. It's when a team get hot and they feeling good and they got that energy, they play better. So you should in football watch energy as we're preparing for Philly. Okay? So there's specific evidence that if you're observant, you can see that maybe an extra talk could help you prepare for Thursday. So listen.
Oh, sir. I think it was Micah who gave you the birthday gift a week or two ago.
He said Micah gave you a birthday gift about a week ago.
Yeah.
Is there just like the personal part of this versus the business part? Is it kind of
the personal versus the business?
Hard to reconcile sometimes where you make friends with these guys and then they're gone in the blink of an eye?
Yes and no at the same time. Like it definitely sucks.
Shoulder shrug. All right. He said, listen.
No at the same time. Like it definitely sucks.
It definitely sucks. And see, this is totally opposite of what Dak said. Dak was like, man, I think everybody all right. No, somebody said that's your teammate that this definitely sucks.
As a captain, and certainly you were a leader before you were named captain. The pulse of the locker room, what's the feeling? Some of these young guys were close, certainly guys on defense were close with Micah. How do you get them to?
Some of the guys on defense was close to Micah.
divorced from those feelings and focused on we got to get ready for Philadelphia. And I don't know.
How do you get them to divorce from those feelings? This is specific questions on how do you get them to divorce from your feelings?
What the locker room is feeling.
Yeah, how do you get them to divorce from that feeling?
Right now.
Once again, from what I got from the feel of the locker room, I don't think there was needed a talk or lifting guys up over the divorce or feeling down about themselves. I mean,
so while he's saying that, another captain is saying this.
Yes and no at the same time. Like it definitely sucks. You know.
So we have to be honest on how he's feeling. So, and you have to be honest that Dak is saying it different than Osa. You listen, I'm showing you that Dak is saying from my field, I don't see nothing. And then also over here like, no, it definitely sucks. Now, I'm trying to be mentally strong about it, but no doubt that was my boy. He just took care of me on my birthday. This sucks. Am I wrong for saying Dak should go the extra mile? Some? And reach down and say, hey, bro, let me talk to you, bro. Hey, man, I know that's your boy. I know that's your boy. I know y'all was friends. And this does suck. Let's first start there. This sucks. But I'm glad you're a captain. I'm glad you're a leader. Let's get your mind right. Let's get locked in because we got this game on Thursday. That doesn't stop us from still being friends. We go still check on him. You know, he's just no longer in the locker room. He is not dead. He's just not in the locker room. What you're doing, in my opinion, with that is what's called walking through the crowd slowly. Okay. That's an actual term that I learned from studying John Maxwell. It's what you do. Cause see, a lot of y'all will say boss just talking. Boss is just making something out of nothing. But no, I'm talking about this is trained leadership principles that's taught from one of the most influential leadership experts in the world. And I'm talking about this because I love my team. And I'm not going to ignore anything that could not have us start fast. It's more than just X's and O's sometimes, y'all. It's also about managing morale and emotions. And because I love my team, sometimes I'm going to step back and I'm going to say, this is where Dak could do it a little bit better. For everybody that's caping for Dak right now, I'm going to say this. I'm going to show you that Dak does not mean anything bad with the smiling. But first, I have to do what's best and also exposed where maybe he could do better. Because with me, the Cowboys are truly first. And yes, I do see that Dak is mostly treated unfair. But when advice like this is coming from me, I'm saying it because I want the best for him and the team. All right, so let me take my time and go through this real quick. Okay. All right. So I always talk about this book, Developing a Leader Within You. Boy, I swear this is the book. I'm gonna read some of it. I mean, this is, listen, I'm gonna say this. If you in any form of leadership, I'm talking about if you the head lead at the warehouse, if you the head doctor, if you the manager at McDonald's, if you are the shift leader, if you are the pastor or if you're the deacon, if you're doing any form of leadership, if you're an executive like D.A. Lee, you should have this book and study it, because I guarantee it will make you better. So I'm going to read from this book real quick, just some of it, so y'all can know where I get my principles from. This ain't principles that I pulled out my butt like, hold on, let me hear my fart noise. I ain't just pull leadership principles, because I heard people say, I know Micah Parsons wasn't a leader because he ate some nachos and laid it on the table. No. You can eat nachos, you can, and still be not only a leader, you can be the leader. A lot of y'all, this is what some of y'all falling for. Y'all think people leader because they are the positional leader, like the quarterback or the head coach. Or no, sometimes the leader, I'm gonna tell you who the real leader is from this, right? So this is what John Maxwell said. He said, perhaps because most of us want to be leaders, we become emotionally involved when trying to define leadership. He ate nachos, right? Or perhaps because we know one, we try to copy his or her behavior and describe leadership as personality. Ask 10 people to define leadership, and you'll probably receive 10 different answers. And that's what I'm seeing going on right now. Ask 10 people to define leadership, you'll probably receive 10 different answers. After more than 4 decades of observing leadership within my family and many years of developing my own leadership potential, I have come to this conclusion. And this is what I stand on, what he getting ready to say. Leadership is influence. That's it. Nothing more, nothing less. Yeah. My favorite leadership proverb is, he who thinketh he leadeth and had no one follow him is only taking a walk. I love that. And it's true. So what a lot of people do is they look at personality. They look at the articulation of how you speak and those type of surface things, or they'll look at the fact that you have the title. And so they'll say that's the leader. No, the leader is who people follow. So, and this is what he said also, talking about insights about influence. Okay. And that's why I'm doing this show about the mental preparing for Philly. And he said, sociologists tell us that even the most introverted individual will influence 10,000 other people during his or her lifetime. Because remember, it's about leadership is the people who have influence. So one of the principles that he teaches, and that I know Brian Schottenheimer, I'm certain Brian Schottenheimer studied leadership. The things that Brian Schottenheimer does shows me that he didn't just decide to become a head coach and start winging it. He studied leadership. I can tell based on how he moves. So one of the things that you saw that I could tell, he probably studied John Maxwell, bro, because I see so many things that Shotty does that's in perfect alignment to John Maxwell. So I was talking about the permission stage, right? Which is people development, right? And the reason why I'm showing you this book, because I know how people are. Boss, you just talking, boss. You just giving opinions. No. I'm telling you from stuff that I've greatly studied, stuff that I've greatly executed on high levels. Okay. And not executed, execute. All right. So check this out. One of the most important parts, and this is what I'm talking about, and what he teaches is this principle called walk slowly through the crowd. It's called walking slowly. Y'all went to Carter. Yes, I went to Dallas Carter. I'm a Carter boy. And just say, boss, that broccoli y'all don't want to eat. I mean, Andrew, you already know. Especially I'm showing people like, and see when you doing it like this, Andrew, you just got to keep pushing. Because I know how I get when you start talking about where Dak can improve. Just like front office, it's a lot of people that become Johnny Cochran. Johnny Cochran defended OJ. Andrew went to Sock. Sock won the other day. Sock rolling. Sock doing their thing. My brother went to Sock. I grew up in Singing Hill, so I got love for Sock. I got love for the South Oak Cliff all day. I ain't no hate in my heart for South Oak Cliff. I love Sock. I loved Sock before I loved Carter. I used to go to the football games and my brother was in the band. So I came up on Oak Cliff football from Sock. I just went to a better school, Andrew. But walking through the crowd slowly is what I'm talking about, right? This is where I think Dak and his training, his training is in organizational leadership. Okay, that's his training. So high level, organizational, structural leadership, right? And that's where you are looking. And damn, you off of Overton? Don't do that, Andrew. You gonna get me off my subject. But when you are trained, and Dak has a master's degree in organizational leadership, you are trained to look at an organization from what's called a macro level. And a macro level is where you're looking at it from the high level. It's like looking at a forest from an airplane. That's where Dak is trained. He's trained to look at the forest from the airplane, right? Now, what John Maxwell teaches is walking slowly through the crowd is where you get down to what's called the micro level. And that's where you are dealing in the details, right? It's not the high level view. It's where you get down to the real specifics. So I can tell that Brian Schottenheimer likely studied under Maxwell or studied Maxwell because you see that he walks through the crowd slowly. And that's why I do know in terms of him, we have the right guy. Because there are certain leaders who wouldn't even know to manage this emotional divorce. They would have the attitude of Dak. I don't see a problem. We still playing ping pong. Okay. But Brian is not like that. Brian definitely walks through the crowd slowly. Like, for instance, every practice he made all the coaches make sure that everybody and every coach every day at every practice greets and touches every player. You telling me he didn't study Maxwell or study some form of Maxwell training of walking through? So that tells me that even though Micah had people that he influenced, for sure, people that feel sad at his departure. Don't act. Yes, it's some people in that locker room that is not completely happy. They're trying to be tough about it, but they are not happy. Let's just keep it real. They lost somebody. But thank God we do have a leader who knows how to walk through the crowd, that pulls the men individually to the side. My boy Brian Schottenheimer in his press conference said the first person that he called was Trayvon. Let me clap it up for some good damn leadership. Let me clap it up, damn it. Because I know what I'm looking at and I know what I'm listening to. Good damn job. Because some of these leaders we had in the past would have been tone deaf going into war. They would have been tone deaf. They would have been, we're okay. We're fine. As we getting ready to have real bullets fly at us. But before we start, we need to manage the morale and the mental. And I'm not going to sit back because Dak is a favorite and not have no critiques where maybe he can do better. And he can do better. And it's one small correction. Small. Walk through the crowd slowly like your head coach. To where both of y'all are double teaming the mental fight that could be happening with some of your best guys. When your captain say, it sucks, man. I know Brian talked to Osa. I'm telling you, Brian already did it. He already did his job. Trust me. I've been listening to Brian Schottenheimer. He is obviously trained in how to manage these things, and I guarantee you he is doing it. And he is likely way better than Mike McCarthy and Jason Garrett at managing emotions. Because again, emotions is something that a smart football team will manage. So, like for instance, I'm gonna give you one more example. Just Bill Belichick, if he noticed that they was flat, they showed him on the sideline say, "Hey, listen, y'all, we need to dial up a big play. This is the time we need to do a big play. We need to do a trick play right here. We need to get the sideline going." What was Belichick managing? Emotions. It wasn't the X's and O's. He was saying, nah, we need to get a momentum play because the guys are flat. The guys are flat. Coaches manage emotions too. Leaders manage emotions too. They don't just look over potential risk of coming in flat. One of the biggest blunders of Mike McCarthy was when he said, I noticed that the team looked nervous going into San Fran. See, this is where Brian Schottenheimer and Pete Carroll runs loops around Mike McCarthy. Because Pete Carroll manages emotions 10,000 times better than Mike McCarthy. I remember the game when Seattle was playing Green Bay after they cheated Dez on the catch. And Seattle was getting blown out by Green Bay under the leadership of Mike McCarthy. And in the first half, it looked like the game was over. Green Bay had that game in wraps. And I ain't gonna never forget, Pete Carroll came out there. And when he came out, he was doing only one thing. He was running up and down the sideline over and over. And he was looking all his men in their eyes and saying, let's go. Let's stay in this fight. He wasn't over there, no, hey, we're going to need to run this play and we're going to need to. He was imagining, he was running up and down the sideline. He was just looking at them like, let's go. And the men began to feed on that. And they started to rally back. And Mike McCarthy, because he's bad and always has been bad at managing momentum, just let that comeback happen. And he stood over there in that Mike McCarthy-ish professor ass shit with his call sheet. Pete Carroll on the other side with no call sheet, looking men in their eye, talking about let's go. And them Seattle dudes, go watch the game. If you think I'm lying, go back to 2014 and pull up that game. And go watch why they came back. It wasn't Pete Carroll over there standing on the sideline and coaching them up. He was managing the emotions. So we have Brian doing it. I know Brian doing it. I also honestly want Dak to do it too. Now, and that's a small critique for Dak. That's small. All I'm asking is, you know who Micah's homies was. Go knock on the door and just make sure they all right. You know Wanye love Micah. You know Osa love Micah. You know Trayvon Diggs love Micah. You know that. And let me say this. Let me just say this. It's cliques in every locker room. I know people want to believe that everybody's brothers and all that shit. No, bro. It's sometimes I don't like you. My boy Joe Cook say, respect, boss. I'm done with the cliche statements. Pressure's a privilege. Yet the biggest moments you don't show up. I mean, I think Dak does show up in big moments. I'm not going to go that far. But I also know that leadership is more than cliche statements, though. It is. It's about getting men to follow you, and a lot of times doing the little things that can cause men to buy in more, which is what Brian does. Like Brian does. Brian walks through the crowd slowly. Well, we got to also challenge and be honest. We got to say, has Dak become the big uncle? Has Dak become the out of touch uncle? It happens. It happened to Romo. It did. It happened to Romo. It did. When Dak first got there, he was the young homie. He was the dude that was going out, you know, with Zeke and them. I remember them boat parties where it was like a bunch of women. And you know all of them women had to sign some NDAs. You know they did. Non-disclosures. You know they did. Man, he was one of the boys. And the locker room rallied around Dak because he was young Dak trying to earn it the hard way. And he was one of the homies. He could kick it with the white players, and he talked about that because of his mama's side, and he could get along with the black players because of his dad's side. He literally talked about being one of the homies. But we have to be honest and say Dak is in year 10. And in year 10, and you've now received 2 multi-million-dollar contracts, sometimes you got to say, are you still in touch? Because see, we gotta keep it real, man. Sometimes, bro, when you going home to a multi-million-dollar mansion and you've been doing that for the last 8 years, sometimes, I'm just keeping it real, sometimes you forget what it's like to stay in a dorm. Sometimes you forget what it's like to fight for your job. Because his life is extreme stardom. He's an extreme star. And I definitely believe that same thing happened to Romo. It was a time the locker room, rallied around young Dak. And they felt that Romo had lost touch with them. And they talked about it. Barry Church talked about it specifically. And sometimes you got to do a little bit more than having a crawfish ball at your mansion. Sometimes you got to go get out in the streets with your boys. I don't mean doing nothing that's like risky and stupid, but sometimes you got to. My boy say, Vincent Johnson say, boss, you like a professor up in this, breaking it down like a scientist, bro. I do this out of love, bro. Real talk. And I know I'm upsetting some people. I already know. I know. Because I know when you giving some honest critiques, especially with what Dak has been through with the dishonest critiques, a lot of people don't want to hear no critiques. But I don't care. I say what I say to win. I don't say what I say for the crowd. And I don't say what I say to make y'all feel good. I say what I say because I see an issue where we could potentially be better. And I don't care who it is. It can be Dak. It can be front office. It can be Osa. It can be Micah. Because Micah wasn't perfect. Micah messed up a lot too. He ain't messed up a little. He messed up a lot. I ain't gonna get into it too deep because he's gone. But yeah, Micah was sloppy on some things sometimes. He was. Especially speaking, like, it's true. When you out there in the public and you don't put Dak in the top 10 and he your teammate, bro, sometimes you got to learn how to lie. Even if you don't feel that, you lie for your teammate in the public. You do. And it's just what it is. Just keeping it real. From being in locker rooms, sometimes people don't like each other, bro. Just keeping it real. Sometimes it's leadership rivalries and all kind of BS that's going on. For real. It's people that could be bidding to be the leader, trying to take over as the voice of the whole locker. Bro, that stuff be going on, bro. Especially with America's team, where if you become the established voice of the team, that becomes with a whole lot more exposure. And my boy say this team is just in shambles. I don't think so. I'm going to be honest with you, man. Most locker rooms have drama, bro. And I played Division I ball, bro. I'm telling you, most locker rooms have drama, bro. Most. So did y'all notice that as Philly was winning the Super Bowl, AJ Green was fussing at the head coach in the Super Bowl? You ain't noticed that? Most teams have dysfunction, bro. It's only a soft fairy tale idea that there's no drama in no locker room. That is false as hell. Charles Haley used to tell Emmett, matter of fact, he used to tell Aikman to his face, "You not Montana. You not Montana. You in no Montana." Charles Haley used to tell Micah Irvin, "You're not even Jerry Rice. Get out of here." Now, in today's social media, if they caught that on camera, guess what our South fans would be saying? "We need to get rid of Haley. He's a cancer. He's a cancer." And let me tell you the truth from being in locker rooms, bro. You know what the main fights usually are in locker rooms about? It ain't leadership. You know what the main fights in locker rooms be about? You ain't gonna want to hear it, but I'm gonna tell you anyway. Women. Most of our fights are on women. I'm being honest, bro. Think about what happened to Zeke in 2016. Them boys went on an 11-0 run. And Zeke was literally in a lawsuit and trying to not get suspended. And guess what? Lucky Whitehead was messing with the accuser. So just imagine Zeke in the huddle. Lucky Whitehead is in the huddle. Dak calling the play. And they coming out the huddle together. Break. And Lucky Whitehead is smashing the woman that is accusing me and slandering my name and got heat on me with the NFL. And them dudes both was balling. Lucky Whitehead and Zeke. So no, I don't believe we're in shambles. I just don't believe that we are buttoned up all the way either. So what I'm doing is I'm trying to button us up. That's all. Don't listen to this and think it's over. Don't think this. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that we not gonna be able to push past it mentally. All I'm saying is dot your I and cross your T and go check on those guys. Those guys that you know was super cool with Micah. That's all I'm saying. This is the first Philly prep from Boss Cowboy, the mental state. That's all. And this is not a crisis, y'all, because locker room feuds are normal. My top running back, man, I got so many stories. I'm gonna just give you a few, bro. I had to play with my roommates, and one of my white roommates called me a nigga on defense. We still had to line up. I still had to have his back, and he still had my back on the field. But that dude called me a nigga. White boy. In the locker room, I had some roommates who took my car, because we all went to Austin together. They took my car back to Houston. The moment I got back, I punched the running back in his face for taking my car. Right in his face. We fought right in the front of my crib, and went to practice. We talking about real locker room. And guess what? When he made plays, I slapped him on the head. Good job, bro. When I made plays, good job, Marcus. Slide B. And we just fought. Boy, you took my car, boy, you out your mind. Fist fight. Miami, the national champ Miami, had a couch section where they settled disputes. Go over there and box that out. I'm talking about what the locker room really like. See, we be having these Candyland fantasies like everybody got to be best friends up in there. Sometimes you don't like that dude. I'm just be honest. Sometimes I don't like you, bro. Especially offense versus defense. Especially offense versus defense. Every day y'all talking shit to each other, man. Listen, it's an alpha game, bro. This ain't no corporate America. It's full of alphas, bro. And some of y'all be having this corporate America mentality and don't have no idea what it's really like to be in a room full of dog alphas. Sometimes cats, I don't like you, bro. Most of the people on offense I didn't like as teammates. I brought a dude on the show named Smoke who went to Houston Yates. I went to Dallas Carter. We played them 3 times in high school. He was in Houston. I was from Dallas. You don't think I hated him? This Houston-Dallas rivalry? I hated that dude. Every time I saw Smoke, I ain't say nothing. Smoke saw me and didn't say a word. And we was like that for 5 years. Didn't say nothing. Every day I saw him, it was, man, say, man, if you don't get your Houston ass out of here, bro. And it was every day because I was getting myself in a mode of war. And he was the dude that was getting me ready. So I hated him too. Me and Smoke best friends now. I can call Smoke right now. Smoke, hey, what's up, bro? Hey, what's up, boss? What's going on, Sly? Now we friends. But when we was on the team together, I ain't like Smoke. He was on offense. And in my mind, I always said to myself, receivers are trying to embarrass you. Never be cool with them. They trying to embarrass you. So why would I be? But that was the way I prepared my mind for war and combat. That was me. And we was in the same locker room every day. I had a dude, when I tell you that most of the squabbles are all about women, one of the running backs, I couldn't stand this dude. This dude's name was Joffrey. I hated Joffrey. I felt like he was a simp. And I couldn't stand him because he tried to check me over a female. Came up to me, hey man, I know you be hating on me, bro. I'm like, over her? No, bro. Hating? Man, you better get out my face, bro. And this our running back. But why? See, when you playing college football, just trust me, it's a bunch of groupies. It's a bunch of groupies, y'all. It's a lot of these women was community property. I'm gonna just be honest. They was community property. They would mess with me. They would go mess with you. Then they would go mess with the other dude. But see, I always, I'm from Dallas, and I always, I'm from Oak Cliff, so I always kind of had a sense about myself and a swag, a authentic swag about myself. I could tell the women that was community property, where you don't get invested into them emotionally. You don't do that because she go mess with you and mess with somebody else. So my boy Joffrey, he was simping. He was. Because he believed a groupie. He messed with her. I messed with her. I wasn't thinking about him. He's just like, bro, she community property, bro. She want me, she want you, bro. Let's both get down and move on, bro. It's going to be another one. But he want the gala. So guess what a groupie go do? A groupie go, Marcus hating on you. What, bitch? I no, bruh. No, she's playing you, bro. She's the dude that got swag on the team. She trying to make you jealous, dummy. She's trying to lock you in and get in your head with games. But he approached me. I know you hating on me. I said, bro. Bro, you don't see how many women I got, bro. I don't give a damn about that. She's community property, homie. That's the real locker room, bro. Where sometimes, and a lot of times, and most times, cats be having issues over groupies and women. So, it's just what it is. So, I'm almost finished with this. But listen.
But just trying to focus on the positives, like I said, bro, like what he's able to do with his for his family, with the money that he's getting, and then just being paid what he deserves to be paid, you know what I mean? So just focusing on that.
Did you think it would ever come to this?
I was not expecting it at all, but, kind of is the nature of the business. You never know,
When your coaches have used the word, front office used the word unanimous.
So look, your coaches has used the word unanimous. Look.
Making that decision in the locker room.
Shrugs. Shrugs. So what was Dak doing when he disagreed with Will Greer? Shrugs. But I'm telling you, that body language is real, bro. You better study it. You better study it. We all got dropped in Columbia. I know we not experts at speaking the language, but you better learn how to perceive it.
How do you feel like that trade was received?
Another big ass shrug. Look, I ain't crazy.
Making that decision in the locker room, how do you feel like that trade was received?
You don't think a talk with him would potentially help from your leader? You don't think a talk with him would potentially help? Do you think it's truly wise for Dak to be like, I don't see nothing. We playing ping pong. I don't think that's wise.
I mean, I don't know. I probably agree with what Coach said, but at the same time, like locker room, we don't really have time to dwell on it. We got a game on.
We don't have time to dwell on it, meaning I'm hurting, but I can't focus on that. See, some people that believe, man, they don't care at all. They good. They moved on. No, bruh. It's some people don't care. And sometimes it's just like that, bro. I don't care, bro. I wasn't cool with him like that. And there's some people we got to move on.
Thursday.
Where were you when it happened?
It's in my living room.
Yeah, Angie, it was a big ass shrug. Now, this is one of the biggest clues right here. Look.
Were there differing opinions on Micah in the locker room?
Next question.
Another shrug, and fully avoided the question. Osa got to learn how to lie. Osa don't lie good. You got to lie better, Osa.
Were there differing opinions on Micah in the locker room?
Next question.
Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh hell no. Take it easy on my back.
Take it easy on my back.
Oh no. Boss ain't crazy. Boss ain't crazy. Go talk to him, Dak. Go talk to him. Come on now. Dak, come on. You gotta go talk to him, bro. I'm just being honest, y'all. You gotta go walk through the crowd slowly, man. I'm just being honest, bro. I know Dak y'all favorite, but you got to do this right here. Walk through the crowd, Dak. Do like Brian is doing. Help Brian in that. Don't let Brian do that alone. You jump in that fight too. And this is where Osa just got to learn. Osa, you a leader now. They gonna be putting that camera in your face, so you got to get better. I'm just be honest. If they ask you, was they split in the locker room? Nah, man, we all good, bro. We good. We good, man. Listen, Micah is our brother. Listen, Micah not dead. He just on another team. So we still got relationships with Micah. I'm gonna see Micah in the off season. We already got a trip plan. We got a trip plan. Now Micah my dog. That's my dog. You got a lot better. Also, next question. Are we split in the locker room? Next question. Oh hell. Yes, we know what that means. Yes, y'all split. We know what that means. Next question. I'm not gonna get into that. Osa, damn. Next question. No, y'all split. So let me show you the real mental state of Dak and where it's good. Okay. So I gave the critique. Now I'm gonna show you where I misread Dak and now because I broke this down, I can see where Dak and what he's trying to do. And what Dak is trying to do is completely healthy. I just think he need to walk through the crowd a little bit. That would be my only critique is Dak go walk through the crowd, go check on the guys that you knew was close to him, and go just check under the hood. Just give them a quick check. You ain't got to give no damn speech to the whole team, but go to the 5 or 6 guys or the 10 guys that love the mic. Just go check on them. Matter of fact, if you could some kind of way have a quarterback defensive meeting with his guys, that would really have them dudes, in my opinion, fully ready for Philly mentally. The mental state. Okay. So now I'm going to break down where Dak mentally is good and what he's trying to do is good. Okay. I sense a small kink in his armor, but what he's doing is good. So let me break this down. Let me change the vibe a little bit. Just a little bit. All right. Because we got the right leader, y'all. I'm going to tell you right now, I don't want y'all to get it twisted. Because I had a critique for Dak, I still recognize that this man is a phenomenal leader, bro. He just needs to do one thing to me to make him better. See, when I'm talking about Dak, I'm talking about a critique. I'm talking about an adjustment. I am definitely not talking about no overhaul. I love where Dak is. I'm going to show it. I'm going to break it down where my perception was wrong. Okay. So check this out. Listen.
The benefit you gained from having gone through it against Tampa Bay.
No, hold on. Cause see, that's giving it away. That's giving it away. I don't want to give away the whole thing. Hold on. Oh, here. Yeah, here we go. Listen.
Reaction to Micah, you surprised?
Yeah, I was. I can't say I was.
Hold on. Listen, I got y'all. Listen.
Completely surprised. But I definitely didn't think he was going to get traded. I'll say that. But just with the way that their negotiations went down, obviously, to some extent, I mean, hell, y'all were asking me questions. It seemed like it got personal on their ends.
See, he talking about both parties. He not just talking about Micah. Some people trying to run with that like he was talking about Micah, like it got personal on Micah end. He said both of them. Okay? So in my opinion, Dak right here is just being honest. He's being professional. He's explaining the situation. He not sugarcoating the divorce.
So like that's why I wasn't surprised. But yeah.
From a team standpoint, is it a disappointment? Do you just we're better? Or?
So this is the part to where I feel like a lot of people are running with too. Listen.
How do you look at it?
I mean, we added a great player. Obviously got some picks for the future. I'm not going to say we're better. We've got to go out there and prove it. We'd have to prove it even if he was on this team. So I'm not going to say that by any means. But I know adding a guy like Kenny Clark, adding a true leader, a real man, that's I'm going to.
So a lot of people running with that because he said, and what a lot of people doing with that is they're making an assumption because he said true leader that was a snipe at Micah. No, he's actually describing the traits of Kenny Clark. That's where sometimes we're messy. That's where we're trying to take and put motives on Dak that's not there. You got to realize Dak is the ultimate professional. Dak is very conscious of just answering the questions, and he knows he's in Dallas. He's not going to give bulletin board material to Micah Parsons and messy media. He was not taking a shot at Micah. He was just describing Kenny Clark.
Only elevate this team, who's been a Pro Bowl player and is excited about being here. I know our focus right now is Philly. I think that's everybody's focus in that locker room. I don't think anybody's hung up on that. As I said, there's enough news
and that's where
media.
And that's where he's wrong. He said, I don't think anybody's hung up on that. When I just showed you that, yes, also one of your leaders is fighting through that. So walk through the crowd on that, Dak. You can't have that macro organizational leadership view come down to the micro level and go touch your brother. Real talk. And that's not boss. That's coming from one of the best leaders in the world on how to deal with situations like this, John Maxwell. I read the quote because a lot of y'all think it's coming from me. No, it's coming from the best leader in the world, the best leadership trainer.
About it, I think as much as anything, it's good that a solution happened, and obviously Micah got paid very well, and great for him and his family, and we'll see him here in about a month. So just honestly glad that I can't say glad, but yeah, glad that we're moving.
You see how he careful on what he's saying? See, man, Dak is smart, bro. See, he knew every word that he say go be dissected. That's why he said glad. No. Like he pulled back on that. Because he know how messy the media is. He know how messy we are as fans. He know. So he's conscious. This dude's smart.
So just honestly glad that I can't say glad, but yeah, glad that we're
You see how he say I can't say glad? Because he know he's the Dallas Cowboy quarterback. He knows every word can and will be used against him. He knows it. That's how I know he wasn't going at Micah. He too smart for that.
Asked that, and everybody seems happy because of it.
You kind of alluded to it a little bit, but if there wasn't resolution, I guess would that have been hard to kind of
For sure.
deal with those things went on?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, if nothing would have been done, we'd sit here and y'all still would have been asking me whether he was playing in a couple of days or when he was going to be playing. That would be a lot more of a headache and distraction than getting a solution to it.
He said, my boy say, I disagree. How does Dak know Clark is a great leader? Dak is echoing Jerry's sentiment regarding leadership. My boy Joe Clark, let me just give you my personal opinion on that. Because Joe said it sounded like spin control. That was my impression of Kenny Clark when I first heard Kenny Clark. The first thing I heard when I listened to Kenny Clark was, yeah, that's a leader of men, bro. And then I also realized that some of these people have reputations around the league, right? And you ask, how does Dak know? Was Dak in Pro Bowls? I'm just asking the question. Was Dak in Pro Bowls? Guess who also was in Pro Bowls? Kenny Clark. So when you're in a Pro Bowl, is it the AFC side and the NFC side? I'm answering your question because I understand the speculation. I get it. And I'm going to address the speculation. And I respect the speculation by Joe. I'm not singling out Joe. Joe a good guy. Joe Cook is a good guy. But I'm also measuring his thought. And when I measure your thought and you realize that Dak has been to the Pro Bowl, Kenny Clark has been in the Pro Bowl, y'all on the same conference, doesn't that give Dak an opportunity to recognize the traits of a leader up close? That's how he can already know Kenny Clark. So, just answering your question. I don't think it's spin control. I don't think Dak that type. If Dak was the type, he would have said, I think it was on Micah's side. He said, I felt like both of them, meaning Jerry had fault in this too. He didn't single out Micah like a hoe. He said, I think both of them kind of got in their emotions a little bit. That's why I can say I wasn't completely surprised. He was honest. So I don't think Dak is this bitch people think he is, to be honest. I think he's smart with his words. Because, see, when it was Will Greer, he was clearly showing his frustration, bruh. That ain't no yes, man. He was like, bro, man, Jerry and them, he was like, psh. He kept shrugging his shoulders at them boys.
To Micah, yeah, we just shared messages right after. Wished him good luck.
So that also meant that Dak reached out to Micah. That's a professional. He reached out to Micah. Hey, bro, I know you're not with us. Good luck, though, bro. Good luck. That's a professional leader, bro. I'm trying to show y'all where, as I was breaking this down, I start seeing where I got his body language wrong. And I'm talking about Dak's body language.
Solution to it. To Micah, yeah, we just shared messages right after. Wished him good luck.
What does it mean for you as a leader? Does it change much in terms of your voice, your leading voice on this team and moving on?
Not at all.
Dak, with the timing of the trade and everything, what was the message to the guys, given that you guys have a game in just a few days against the Eagles?
My message to the guys?
Yeah, right immediately after the trade.
See when you see that smile like that, it make you say, but I'm gonna show you where I got him wrong.
I mean, I don't know if there was a necessary meeting or things needed to be said or handled or had. I mean, it was a very public issue that everybody could look on the internet or ask somebody or ask one of y'all and get a lot of intel or feelings about it that, like I said, it's just good to be past it. And as I said, both parties are happy.
Probably not a surprise to you, but you get picked by your teammates to be one of the captains. What does that mean to you?
Yeah, something I don't take for granted. It means a lot, one, just to get back to the year-long captains, getting to put the C on my chest. Something that I always, before I got to the league or, when I was a kid watching this game, used to love watching the quarterbacks and the players that had the C on their jerseys, understand what it means. But, to be selected as that and really to be one of the 6 selected, I think just that number growing. And I don't know if Shadi alluded to it, but he initially said like 3 or 4, and then the number doubled pretty much. And I just think that's a credit to each and every guy on that group and being picked by their peers, and just means they're handling business, doing things the right way. And as I said, something I don't take for granted and move forward each and every day with a lot of responsibility.
My boy Joe said, Micah comes across entitled. First gear to get rid of D-Law, then bump heads with the leader team, the locker room is going to be fractured too. Listen, bro. Let me play this clip on what you just said. Cause see, I'm looking at all body language, bro. Listen, and trying to prepare. And I'm just being honest. I do believe it was a leadership schism and some immaturity a little bit from Micah. Look. See, see, y'all should know I pay attention, bro. I pay attention, bro. Watch this.
Where is Dak? They looking for Dak. Dak don't love us, man. He don't love us.
You see how CD looked at him? See, I look at body language, bro. It's not even just what you say. See, CD Lamb is a very conscious. He like Dak. He conscious that our words matter. He looked like, what you say? What?
Where is Dak? They looking for Dak.
Now, this is, you had thousands watching on that live, bro. And they was saying in the chat, where's Dak? Where's Dak? Where's Dak? Right? That's what fans go do. That's why I'm telling you, Dak need to come out that mansion, and sometimes you got to walk through that crowd. Don't be out of touch. Don't be out of touch. Because if you out of touch, and somebody might be trying to be the leader, you open the door because you're not there. You can't be working so much that you leave your wife at the house. She go mess around and get horny. She still got needs, dog. You got to get your ass. I know you got the 2 babies and you got the wife, and you gotta walk through that crowd slowly. I'm just being honest, y'all. See, y'all want me. Listen, y'all. That was sloppy. Yeah, that was sloppy by Mike. It was that could have erupted. I caught it. I ain't even say nothing because I wanted Micah still paid. I still wanted Micah paid. I don't give a damn about that. I done fought my running back, hit him in the face. I ain't finna expose that, but I saw it. I was like, ooh. And look.
Dak don't love us, man. He don't love us.
I'm trying to pause it right when CD looked up.
He don't love us.
What? 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 Look at CD Lamb. What you say, dog? Didn't that put CD in a bad place? Just keeping it real. That don't put CD in a bad place? And somebody say he was clearly sarcastic. No, that's not clearly sarcastic. It's not clear. That's a possibility. But it's still sloppy, bro. And let's just see, that's why we got to be honest, bro. I'm not go cape for nobody. I don't cape for Dak. I'm not finna cape for Micah. I'm not finna cape for front office. No, that's sloppy, bro. And that's where we got to be honest, bro. And that's why I want Micah to do better. Micah at times was clumsy, bro. Just be honest about that. I was noticing it and I never said nothing. Let me tell you when I stopped talking about it. Because at first I used to talk about it. I stopped talking about it when I knew that they was putting a hit on Micah about the OTAs. My boy say Micah has a dark humor. That's how. Listen, bro, don't play like that. This is the Dallas Cowboys, bro. You can't play like that. That's a dark humor. You don't play like that, bro. Man, hell no. This is the team to where anything you say can be used against all of them. That's why CD Lamb looked up. He was like, what? Like, damn. So just just even if he playing, I'm gonna go with what your logic saying, that if he playing. And see, let me tell you something. I never go with that, because some people try to do, you need to know my personality. No, I don't need to know your personality. You just don't know my personality, boss. I got into it with a content creator. He tried to say that shit. Like, nah, bro, I don't got to know your personality. No, I don't. You rude. You say rude shit. You attack people. And then you try to make us like we need to understand you. No, you need to chill out, bro. That's unnecessary. That's unnecessary. Chill out. Oh, boss, when I was laughing on Twitter and I was putting all the laughing emojis, bitch, I ain't playing. I'm serious about trying to win. Oh, you need to know no, I don't need to know your personality. No, what you need to do is not say stuff that can even come across as rude. So if I'm just using my common sense, bro, if you Dak and CD Lamb sitting right there while he said that, I would have automatically thought to myself, just using my common sense, why is he comfortable saying that? Why is he comfortable saying that around my number one? Why did he feel comfortable saying he don't love us? Even if he playing, I'm gonna be like, bro, why? Why? You don't see how that could cause some dissension? You can't see that? Playing or not, that could cause dissension, bro. Just keeping it real. That's why he looked up like, what? So I'm saying that behind Joe comment, because I want to give Joe some fuel. My boy hit it, say CD was like, shit, he don't love you. My boy hit it. Oh man. So I'm not gonna pretend like there was no divide. And sometimes, again, sometimes it's natural. Sometimes cats don't even like each other, bro. For real. I'm just letting you know. I told you I punched my running back right in his face. I hit him so hard I broke my ring, bro. I broke a gold ring off my hand. That's how hard I hit him, bro. I broke a gold ring. I tried to break his face, bro. I really did. Dude took my car. And I felt like I had to do it on principle. Like, bro, you can't violate me like that, bro. You can't just take my car. And we was all in Austin together. And I also agree with you that in some ways Micah misunderstood. Yeah, he misunderstood, but he's also sometimes clumsy, bro. I'm just keeping it real. I said this a long time ago. Never bring up your teammates on anything that could even be perceived as negative. I'm just keeping it real, bro. Like when he was talking about Tank after the Super Bowl, and he was like, that's the type of leadership we trying to get rid of. I like, whoa, bro, no, not in the public, bro. That's not a good look, bro. Because you got to go see them dudes. Then he was also talking about plays that was left on the field versus Green Bay, and he brought up Bland. And I was like, bro, you don't do that, bro. Now, I saw all of it and didn't say nothing about it because I still wanted Mike on the team. I'm like, man, whatever. He immature, but he talented. Just like Charles Haley threw a helmet at Jerry. So I ain't finna make no big deal out of that little shit. They just got to work that out. For real. And I meant that. Because I also know A.J. Brown is clearly toxic over there in Philly. Clearly. Dude over there reading books. Man, he was clearly saying they not feeding the receivers. I might as well read a book. And them dudes won a championship. Sometimes dudes so cold, you put up with their antics, bro. Real talk. Real talk. Charles Haley was so cold that, shit, man. You can throw a helmet at Jerry, just go make some plays. That was my stance on it. That's why I stopped highlighting this stuff that Micah was doing. But I was seeing it the whole time. And I was like, yeah. You tripped on that. But let me go back to Dak, because I want to showcase how Dak is in the right state.
Ability because of it.
What's the benefit you gain from?
Now, this the part that showed me that Dak is in the right state of mind, and that Dak is doing all that smiling for a reason. So listen,
with a lot of responsibility because of it.
Damn, my bad.
Benefit you gain from having gone through it against Tampa Bay.
So he said, basically, how do you get your guys ready? You know, because Tampa won a championship, right? Tampa won a championship, and he was like, how do you get them focused? Because they could be having all those fireworks and stuff, bombs going off in Baghdad. You know, he's like, how do you basically get your guys prepared for battle?
When they got their banner and all that kind of celebration before the game, that you're going to see that now here on Thursday, that you've been through this, you kind of know what to expect. What's the benefit of that?
See, I like that I'm seeing a smile there. See, if the smile is at Micah, if it was just at Micah, and if his body language was hating on Micah, he wouldn't be smiling about other questions. This is showing you that he's basically putting himself in a state of mind. So they was asking him, how do you handle the bombs over Baghdad, right? Because Tampa won a Super Bowl, and remember, we had to go play them. And he was like, you've been through that. How do you prepare this young team for that?
What do you tell the guys? Like, what is that wait like for kickoff?
Yeah, focus on the game.
Smiling.
On the game.
Smiling. See, that's important. That's important. So just like he was smiling at the absence of Micah, he's smiling at, yeah, it's going to be some bombs going off over Baghdad. It's going to be some bombs. How do you get, it's his state of mind. It's not nothing against Micah.
I mean, we're here in Dallas, and there's usually a lot of good pregame festivities here too. So
you see, same thing. So he's consistent. That's what's important. He consistently saying, this is how we're going to handle all distractions, including the divorce of Micah.
You just got to focus. Got to focus on yourself. Pay attention to your keys. Keep reminding yourself of those type of things, and everything else is just a distraction. So just be focused, and I'll be something that I guess I'll be doing and attending to during that time, right, when those things.
So this is what I'm gonna be focusing on, getting my guys ready. I'm focusing on stay focused on you, bro. Don't get caught up with Micah. Don't get caught up. This is what he's consistent. He basically telling people focus on the game. Don't focus on Micah. Don't focus on the bombs going off. Don't focus on fireworks. Don't get caught up on the theatrics that's around us. Stay focused on you and your coaches.
Things are going on is keeping the guys locked in, making sure they're with their coach or their players, staying loose and feeling good about their approach and us starting the game fast and not sluggish because of it.
As a captain, and certainly you were a leader before you were named captain. The pulse in the locker room, what's the feeling? Some of these young guys were close, certainly guys on defense were close with Micah. How do you get them to?
So it makes me feel better when you smiled about the bombs of Baghdad, and then I see you smile about the question of the young guys, because he's been consistent. Because remember what he said, stay loose. This is Dak as a leader projecting that none of this go phase me. None of this. That's what his smile means. So when I look at him and I say the body language of Dak appeared happy that Micah is gone, I'm now, after really looking at this deeper, it's like, no, he's basically trying to get himself into a state of mind of that no distraction. I don't care if it's fireworks. I don't care if it's any of that. I don't care about them hanging banners. Don't get caught up into that. Don't start having tears roll down your eye because this is your first game, Rook. Stay focused. Lock into what your coach is saying. Let's go to battle. So yes, like the Spirit told me from God, yes, we are responsible for how we come across. And yes, we have to be conscious as much as possible. But I also need to be just as conscious about accidentally misreading him. Because as we're trying to determine the state of mind of our team, I'm noticing that a lot of people are doing this on both sides. For Micah, we being Steven. Some of us being Steven for Dak. Some people being Steven for front office. Don't be Steven for nobody.
Divorced from those feelings and focused on, we got to get ready for Philadelphia. And I don't know what the locker room is feeling right now.
Once again, from what I got from the feel of the locker room, I don't think there was needed a talk or lifting guys up over the divorce or feeling down about themselves. I mean, or about the situation. It's a business. And I think a lot of guys in that locker room know that, have felt that to some extent or not. And I just think that was just another realization of it, of this is a business. And hell, if anything, I hope it was a wake-up call to some guys, right? Like this is for our life. And every day you come in here and you approach it as it is for your life. We're blessed to play a game for a living. So, the locker room have seemed upbeat. The ping pong games have still been going on, and we're focused on Philly.
Life goes on.
Dak, what kind of example does the
So, because I paid attention, I recognize what he really doing. Dak is trying to stay loose, and he trying to project to the team, stay loose, stay relaxed. This is still a game. Let's have fun. Let's get prepared for what we're here to do. But I don't fault people that had a question of, why was you smiling and you didn't smile with Will Greer? But because I really broke it down and watched it, I can understand what he's doing in his mental state approach to the team. And again, I still believe he needs to improve on one area, just one. I like the mental state of trying to keep everybody loose and trying to display that in the public. I'm loose. I'm smiling. Life is good. Stay on your toes. Stay on your toes. I like that. What I don't like is, and this is where I'm going to piss some of y'all off, because I already know when you critique Dak on anything, what Dak's supposed to do? Listen, this is me. Y'all got to understand sometimes when some people are critiquing, bro, you got to know the character of the person, bro. I'm not no panderer. So if I'm saying that I honestly and authentically believe Dak needs to make one correction and go check on the guys that was close to Micah, do one thing out your way this week. Just one thing. Just do one thing. I would want Dak to just do one thing at the lunch table when y'all all sitting down eating. I would want you to go pull all of Micah's homies and say, hey, bro, I'm not going to act like this ain't no big deal that we just lost a brother. I know this is emotional. I know it. I know what he meant, not even as an athlete, but as a friend. I know what he meant. At the same time, I want y'all to keep in mind that him not being on his team does not mean at all that he's still not our brother. He's our brother. He is. We go see him in the off season. He already said that he go live in Dallas. Our brother just went up the street. So let's shake this, guys. Let's get ready for Philly. That's the only thing I would want Dak to do. I don't like the message of we still playing ping pong. No. Walk through the crowd slowly. So, like I said earlier, it's a lot of people that's going to focus on just X's and O's. My first Philly prep video and live is over the mental. And the correction, and the small correction I would want to see from my quarterback. It's small, not big, small. Just take you guys one time to lunch, one time. Just to make sure their heads are completely right. So that we don't walk out like we did with San Fran, where Mike McCarthy said, I sensed that they was nervous and did nothing. That's what we at risk for, y'all. Because your leader saying, I don't really sense that we need to make a speech. Well, no, Mike McCarthy needed to make a speech. Mike McCarthy needed to turn over the table. He needed to say, what the fuck going on up in here, man? What? Now, we've been playing all these games and we go act scared right now. Listen, it's a privilege to play this game. We finna go out here and put some heads and we finna knock some goddamn heads. I'm sensing fur in this hole and we don't have no fur as Dallas Cowboys. What are we talking about right now? Let's go kill San Fran. You got to shake the fear. You got to manage the emotions. So as I'm looking, I'm concerned about that a little bit. And I just want my quarterback to make the adjustment. That's all. That's all. So, I do like the other side. I like that he's trying to be loose. I like that he's very and still careful with his words. I love that. I don't doubt him. I don't doubt his character. I don't doubt his motives. At all. But if you are in the ivory tower, like Romo got locked in, come down. You need to get out the ivory tower. Yes, you have a whole different lifestyle than your teammates. This year, walk through the crowd slowly, Dak. Get out the family Uncle Dak, if that's what you're in. If you're in Uncle Dak mode, you need to put on your calendar some time to bond just a little bit better with some of these guys. And I'm just keeping it real as we're preparing for the Eagles as well as we're preparing for the season. But because I love the Cowboys, I'm not going to leave any stone unturned. So if I see the ways of front office as a threat to the championship, I'm going to address it. If I see the ways of Brian Schottenheimer is a threat, I'm going to address it. If I see the ways of Jerry as a threat to the championship, I'm going to address it. Because there's nothing that I put over addressing when it comes to winning a championship. So I'm going to be going live tonight. And I'm going to have 2 shows this week with my Philadelphia counterparts and content creators. It's going to likely be around 7:30 Central. Y'all already know I'm going to hold it down. Y'all already know I ain't shaking at all over Philly. Now that we got Clark and we got my shoes, bruh, we are in a good place to beat Philly. In a real good place to beat Philly. So, listen, man. It's your boy, Boss Show Me. I appreciate y'all for rocking with your boy. I appreciate y'all for being patient as I had to make the whole case of the first Philly prep and the mental state and the body language and speech clues that I was seeing. But I do feel good. I do. I feel better. So from here on, you likely won't hear me talking about Micah until we face him in Green Bay. So for all the move on, yeah, I'll be moving on today. You won't hear about no more Micah. But I had to address it because it was about the mental state and what I just heard Osa say. And don't get it twisted that dealing with Micah was always about dealing with football with me.